Hey, happy Saturday! What up? Change plans, everybody, change plans. I got a few lives that are coming up, so hopefully y'all come to the right one. What is up, everybody? Come and, come freestyle with me. I hope your guys' Saturday's going great. This is what we got. I don't know exactly what we're doing, but we're going to be using Zule's top coat. We're going to be using Glow White Pearl. This is one of my favorite whites, by the way. Hi, Gordy. How are you, my babe? So, I made these colors, and I'm going to need to swatch them with you guys. So, we're going to do that first, so I can show you guys kind of, like, how the colors are. But this one's, like, a purpley, and then we have, like, I wanted a dark blue, and then this is a gold. So, hopefully I can capture exactly how everything is. Can you hear me okay? Does it sound okay? I have my fan going in the background, so let me know. But we have this color, and this color, and we have the Nail Mate Clear, and then we have these guys. And we have these guys. So, I figured we could do like an evil eye set with some butterflies. I don't know. We'll see what it gets, how it goes and all that. I'm going to swatch these colors with you guys. I did pull this glitter here to see if we wanted to put it in, you know what I mean, the nail set or whatever. Do you want me to swatch these colors? Let me set you up here. Oh. How's your night going, love? Sorry, not trying to make you drunk. Alright, you'll have to let me know how that looks and if it looks okay. I do got my swatch sticks. This is how I did the nails. So I did cut them down. These are the 5XL from Zule. But I cut them at an angle so that way we could have like, what is that called? I don't know, kind of like a, moon edge shape, whatchamacallit. Okay, so these are all three different colors. We have a complete shimmer. We have a shimmer with a little bit of like darker glitter in it. And this one is a shimmer with, I think, a little bit of glitter, but it might just be flakies. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Sarah. Hello. Hello, everybody. How's your night going? Hopefully, it's going great. I do have my Zule number 12 Kalinsky. We shall be using. I'm going to swatch these colors. I literally just made these right before I went live. Hi, Alice. So I made these just before I went live, so I want to swatch the colors for you guys so you guys can get a feel for the color. But I pulled this like beautiful like two-toned purpley blue, and then I pulled this blue because it's so pretty, and I just wanted like a dark blue purple moment. So, and then of course we have our Zule's Glow White Pearl because my favorite, and then I have this one which is also my favorite that I made. Zule's and the Clear, oh shit, are the only ones that I've not made. I do have a code with Nailmate. It's sugar. If you want to use it, feel free. Alright, I'm going to pour some monomer. My monomer is also from Zule's as well. Just going to pour a little bit in there for right now because I don't want to waste it. Oh, I guess I need one more swatch stick, don't I? We're going to shake them up. This one is super gold, and hopefully it's coming out. Hopefully it comes out pretty dark. Like I said, I literally just made them, guys, right before I went live. So, that's what I was doing. I've been running all day long as well. Welcome, everybody! Okay. I filled it to the brim, y'all. Filled it to the brim. Okay. Are you guys excited? I'm excited. Thanks for coming to hang with me. We're doing like a freestyle set. I figured doing like, I've never done an evil eye set before, so I thought that would be cool. Let's get our swatch sticks wet, shall we? Ooh. Oh my goodness. I just put a tiny bit of glitter in this. I don't want a lot of glitter. I just wanted more shimmer than glitter. Oh. A locket. Look at the shimmer. I always typically like to do it with my flash on because it just shows just how much, you know, shimmers in there. I just stuck my brush right there, but... Oh my. Oh, I gotta do a full nail of this. What do you think? I feel like we need to do a full nail of this freaking blue color. Like, I didn't measure, I didn't do anything. I just made it, guys, because I knew I wanted, like, a dark blue. And I knew what I was kind of going for. Oh my god. And then with the added glitters in there. Oh. Hi. Hi, sis, and... Oh. Hi, Katie. Thanks. I just made it. I overfilled my pot and it went everywhere like a goofball, but I figured you guys could help me with the set. What do you guys think? You could help me. We could figure out what we want to do. If we want to do a full background color of this. Perfect, by the way. Powder ratio wise, glitter to powder ratio, it is absolutely perfect. Oh my god, that's beautiful. It's stunning. Look at the let off, too. Your girl's the shit when it comes to making acrylic, I'll tell you that. I'm waiting on some acrylic to come in, too, guys, so... Oh, shit, went right through that. Oh, well. There we go. It's a swatch stick crystal, leave it alone. Okay. So that is the blue color, guys. Hi, Stacy! Hi, Maria! Yo! Thanks for coming to hang with me tonight, guys. Hopefully you can see that. I'm gonna bring it up closer. This is what she looks like up close, guys. Ugh. What you think? I think she's perfect, y'all. Okay, that's the blue. I'm gonna put this guy back on before I spill it again. Okay, and then we got the purple. I've not named these. We have so much hand food. Thanks. I try. So, like I said, I just made these guys. So, I don't know how they're going to turn out. So, let's hope that they turn out great. Ooh. Oh my. You guys. Look at this. Can you see the sparkles moving? Please tell me you can see the sparkles moving. I can't tell because I have a camera in my face, so... Oh my gosh. I nailed it. Nailed it. The vision is there. Hell yeah. The vision is there, everybody. I'm gonna pull this down. Oh yeah, that is stunning. Hopefully you can see the flakies too. I know, right? Food coma, yes. Yes, food coma. This one's got flakies in it, so I kind of wanted to do something different. I wanted each one to be a little bit different. So this one's got shimmer and flakies. And then we have the blue one, which is a shimmer glitter. And then we have the gold one, which is literally just a shimmer, guys. So I wanted to make just a shimmer one, so that way I could do 3D flowers with it. Because I don't think I had just a gold one. You know? Let's pull this guy down a little bit. Oh, yeah. Oh, she is darling. That was too much for that area, but what are you going to do, right? Oh my god. To me, who else loves, like, swatching of acrylic? Anybody else love it too? Or just the application in general? Hi, if you're new here, my name is Sugar. Thanks for coming in. How's everybody's day going? It's almost like crazy Thanksgiving. It's almost my birthday, guys. Look at that. So hopefully you guys can see all of like the different. And this one's got reflective in it. Hi Mabel, hi Sunset. This one's got reflective in it, so hopefully you guys can see that reflective in there. If not, oh well, that's okay. But there is reflective in this one as well. Okay. So I kind of wanted to do a darker moment. And I feel like the color matches this so good. Look at that. And then the blue matches it too. You know what I mean? Ooh. I'm excited. Okay, so this is the gold one. What'd Mabel do? Shout out to my mods and shout out to my members. Now this one has holographic powder I made it with. So this one's got the really expensive holographic like powder that goes up your nostrils. So keep that in mind. Ooh. It's more of a darker gold than I anticipated, but that's a very small bead. But wow, the shimmer is excellent in this one. Powder to whatever ratio is good too. Guys, if you're ever making your own acrylics, make sure, or even if you're testing them, it's always best to do it on a swatch day, guys. It also gives you really good practice as well. So, you seen how dry that was? I still have monomer in my brush, so when you touch it just like this, you're actually adding in monomer to that bead. So you want to make sure we're going to pull it up. We're going to pull it up and melt that in really quickly. Look at that shimmer. Oh my gosh. I hope you can see that shimmer falling. Can you see the shimmer falling? I can't tell. But we're going to pull her down. You know, I'm waiting on my acrylic, so I just kind of pulled what I pulled. I did it that way, so. I'm not really a gold person, guys, but I feel like gold goes really well with like the evil eye moment, so I figured. Oh, that is pretty. I do think it needs a tad bit more pigment, to be honest with you guys, because it's a little, I have a little hole right there, but once you put a secondary thing on it, you're not going to see it. I mean, typically when you have a shimmer, you want to make sure that shimmer is literally everything. And you don't want to see any holes. You want that shimmer to basically control the whole nail. It's pretty. I'm not a gold lady, but it's not bad. It's very sparkly, I will say. Hi, Nana. How are you? Naughty Mabel. Okay, girl. Okay, Naughty Mabel. I like it. It's very sparkly. I think we'll be good using this for flowers. So I think we're okay with that. I might have to add a little bit, you know, a little bit more. Not right now, but you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, man? Okay, so those are the colors I literally just made. Took me like, I don't know, 10 minutes maybe? So, I'm going to clean my brush out. There's nothing in my brush, but you always want to make sure you clean it out, guys. And you'll be able to see because the brush will be like stuck together in places, if that makes sense. So, how is everybody doing tonight? Yeah, we had a change of plans. I was going to originally go live with Nelly. However, she is exhausted. She did work today, so we're just going to go live together. Okay. I'm going to put the lid on this until we can figure out what we're doing here. I'm going to let you guys help me pick out what we're going to do. So you guys let me know what you would want us to do. So, here are the colors. These are the colors, right? Do we want to use the gold or no? You guys think the gold would work? What do you guys think? Because here is the colors that I picked out. So I have butterflies, moons, stars, roses, evil eyes, because it's like an evil eye set. So I picked out a bunch of purple. We have purple butterflies. We have blue moons, flowers, all that good stuff. And then we have this one that's like purple and blue, whatever. But that's not right now. They all work. They do. That's funny. Shout out to everybody here. Oh my gosh. So, now we just need to figure out what exactly we want to do. Okay, so I do know we're going to do a marble. So I will tell you that. We will be doing a marble. And I think we should do something a little simple for the background. So that way it's kind of fast and easy. And then we can do like 3D flowers. We can do the triple, the tricolored, you know what I mean? The tricolored flowers. You know what I'm saying? Because we can do and put these on here and do our own. Like, just focus on the tricolored flowers. You know what I'm saying? I think the gold would look nice. Okay. Hi, Live Long Nails. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, everybody. I'd buy a keychain. What the hell? Oh my god, you guys are funny. I don't even know what y'all are talking about, but hey. I was thinking about doing a V French, like one where you come all the way down to like the point here, and then doing the stuff in the center. Because we have this cover color that we're going to be using with it. And this is my, this is my glow-in-the-dark reflective one that I use on everything. An eggplant keychain. What up, everybody? We are doing freestyle acrylic nails, so you guys feel free to jump in. And I also picked this glitter just to kind of like, maybe if we want to add some of this sprinkled along the edges or something like that. I'm going to, it'll probably be easier if I just make one. So, here's what I'm thinking. Let's take this little guy and let's make us kind of a little chunky glitter. How about that? Do we want to use both the blue and the purple? So that way we can just slap it on the nail and be done with it, right? Do we want to use this purple? Y'all have to let me know. All are going to have, yep. Yep. Okay. I didn't know if I was actually going to do this or not, but you know what? It's fine. This is my Glitter Bells clear that I forgot I had, but I remembered why I don't use this clear. Because there's like little bits and pieces of like white chunks in here that you can't break up. And they're really, really hard. And like right there, you see it? And this is brand new. So, yeah. Either y'all... That's funny. Thank you. Alright, so we're not going to need a lot of the bigger glitter. So we want more acrylic than anything. But you still need room for the bigger glitters. Right? So we're going to take our tiny spoon and use our tiny spoon for that. So I'm going to add the purple. Do we want to add a little bit of that blue too? And we are going to add a little bit of my favorite, which is this guy. Because it just sparkles. So we're probably only going to need one. Oh yeah. Or two. I'll do two. Why not? Alright. So, do we want both purple and blue? Because I'm going to try to do like the smaller version. So there's not a lot of bigger chunkies in there. Okay, there's, ooh, that's pretty. Ooh, that's going to be pretty. Okay. I can't get over that chameleon purple though. Should we add this blue in there too? So we'll add a little bit of this blue in here too. Look at that. Just a tibby bit. Okay. I mean, we're only going to be using it on a very small portion of the nail, so. As in, you shake. And I actually feel like we could add more of that purple. Oh, that might be... Actually, that's perfect, y'all. Look at that. That is perfect color. Okay. So, we have this beautifulness. Do we want a purple background and a blue background? Do we want a clear background? Help me out, y'all. I have white. I have my cover color as well. There's our blue. Our purple. And then we have our white from SUGA. This is white pearl from SUGA. And then we have the gold, which... Yeah. Hi, Dragon. How are you? You guys are crazy. Janie, hi. My day's going great. How about you? Alright, so these are the colors. So these are the colors we're going to be using. We could take out the gold and just use that on top for the 3D flowers. Or we could do a gold background. I think the gold would look cool. Hi, Debbie. How are you? Ooh, you went down the rabbit hole? Hole? I'm glad your day's going great, everybody. Alright, I'm going to add more monomer. So we can do our background. Has anybody else seen any of the recent nails that I've done? Okay, so these are the colors we'll be doing. Alright. So, now I gotta figure out what we want to do in terms... Definitely do a glitter background, guys. I think one should be a full glitter background, and then I think we should do a marble, and then I think we should do a solid. We could always do an ombre. Do you guys want to do like a blue and purple ombre? And then we could do a like glitter here, like this glitter here with either purple or something, or maybe a cover color right there. Wait, what did I just say? Now I forgot. Marble? Oh shit. Blue and purple. Ombre, right? Oh yeah, glitter one. And then whatever we're doing over there. Okay, so I'm going to put the marble one here so that way it's kind of the centerpiece of the colors. Because I kind of like it. If you're going to do marbles, you kind of want to... This has only got 4 fingers. But typically on a regular hand, I would typically do a marble here or my thumb. Or you're going to do it on your pointer or your ring finger. Or if you're just going to have one, you're going to do it on your middle finger. I mean, it just makes it the center point because there's so many colors. That's just how my brain works, y'all. So... Alright, so let's go ahead and do our marble. So I'm going to set this here. We're going to put this guy up there. Put our colors here. And then we have our white. Can you see all the colors? Alright, how's it looking? Good? Can you see good? Okay. Hi, Sunset! If you're new here, my name is Sugar. It's nice to meet you guys. I love ombres. That is my name. Marbles and ombres are my jam. What did I say here? So, I think we're going to do a marble here. Why don't we do the glitter here? The full glitter nail. And then we could have the colors on the, like the darker colors on the outside. Yeah. So, we'll do the marble first. So, I'm going to take my... This just kind of makes the tip tacky when you add the monomer like that. So I'm going to use a smaller brush. Zule's number 12 is small, so it's easier to kind of use all these colors typically faster. So, alright, let's see what color we want to start with, y'all. So I think I'm going to start with the purple. Then the blue. Some white. And you want to do it kind of wet, okay? You don't have to go through it if you don't want to. I like to kind of go through it a little bit, just to kind of give it a little bit of something juicy. And then, what you can do also is take your color, and you can glide it through the already wet acrylic. And it ends up making it look very cool. And then I'm going to make sure it's kind of flattened. You still get that marble. We're going to kind of just flatten it down a little bit because we want to keep our edges in, guys. Thanks for coming, everybody. You guys are the awesome. Tappy, tappy, tappy. Ooh, that is a pretty color. So let's take some of this guy. And a little bit of our glitter. And we're just gonna take it while it's wet. And I'm literally just gonna be like, take it up this side edge here. And then you could take like your actual glitters. I thought the glitters would be a little bit more, I don't know. You need a little bit more. I don't like that they're all in a line, but... For me, I gotta make it, like, different. Alright, we're going to take this and this blue. And I'm going to bring this guy here. I'm going to just bring this guy all the way up the edge. And I'm just going to feather that all the way up the edge. And then I'm going to kind of ombre these together. Just to kind of... Now you guys don't have to do it like this. You can do it really super fast, where you just slap it on the nail. However, I like doing it different like this because you can get so many cool, like, different aspects out of this, if that makes sense. Now I'm going to take this gold, just a little bit of this gold and a little bit of this white. And we're just going to bring it now. You can also do this with a 3D brush too. We're going to just kind of attach it, bring that excess and marry those two there. Just so we have like a little bit of that color. I don't want too much gold. I'm not really a gold person, but... Now, whatever you put on the bottom of your color when you're doing it like this is what's going to be prominent on the nail, if that makes sense. So you always kind of want like a third color in there to kind of just marble it together. But I like that you can see, you know what I mean, both colors there. If you want more, drop some more in. We'll drop some more in here. So to almost be like a trifecta effect almost. So that way when you encapsulate it, you got all them different colors in there. I'm going to take this guy. And then you just kind of want to marry those together, if that makes sense. So that way you kind of have a little bit of something different. So we're going to take a big chunk of this blue, a little bit of that white. Same thing. So we're going to bring that. And then if you want more white, just kind of move it up the nail a little bit. And then you don't want to move it too much though. And then I'm going to flatten that out. Same thing with this over here. Cut that off. Because I want it to be the same level as the nail itself. So you can keep doing little tiny ones, big ones. Different ones. It's really up to y'all. I want a little bit more of this white. That pink, really. I don't want no pink in here. So I'm going to grab just a little bit of this. Patch it through there, almost like a nebula. Let's add a little bit of this guy right here. Now you want it to be more wet than what I have it right now, so you can really see that color show up. we're just gonna bring this over this way. And then I'm gonna bring it down. Just gonna kind of tap it through there. And then you can either take a color and put it through the center, or just do a light color transfer, like so. We'll take our blue, same thing, and just kind of run them in together. Thanks for hanging with me, guys. I hope you guys like this. Now, typically, people don't marble like this, but I do. I like to marble like this. Now, when it's still kind of like in the middle, you can take and make your own lines throughout, guys, and it makes it look super cool. Because then you can take and add like just a little bit of this white through here and just kind of paint it in there. If you want. Just a little bit, just like that. And we're going to paint it up. See that? Just gives it something cool. I think it's pretty. So I think I'm going to just do a full... So we got to add a little bit more gold. So I'm going to add some gold through here. We're going to take it and we're going to come up here like this. So we have a little bit more gold up at that top than anything. So I'm going to take a little bit more of this purple. And I'm going to lock this purple right here. Remember, guys, this is just your background. I cannot say that enough. This is just your background. This is not going to be your... what do you want to call it? Like the strength of the nail, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? So I'm going to kind of just make it look like it's kind of... So the color, when you do it, you can just kind of maneuver it a little bit. Dampen it, put other colors in there, put more color, less color. It's really up to you guys. Just make sure your brush is wet enough so you can move that acrylic around. And what I'm going to do is I like that little streak right here. So we're just going to draw like so. So it gives it almost like a two-toned look on top of that purple that I just put on there. What you think, everybody? I think it's going to look cool. Hi, Becky. Hi, oh, thanks for the floating hearts. Hi, Jada. Alright, so I'm actually going to leave my brush pretty wet here. I'm going to take this guy and I'm going to fill in this area. Because if you know me, I do not like to leave my sides open. So I'm just going to kind of take this and just kind of marry it in. And then what I'm going to do is take this little bit of this purple. And we're just going to kind of marry them together. That way, it doesn't look like I just put a color on top of that color and it kind of focuses itself right there. Nice. I like it. Alright, same thing here, but this time I'm going to take a little bit more of this white. I'm going to shoot this white here. I'm going to bring it more up into what I just put here. Yeah. Now, I have to remember that the white and the pink glow in the dark, and I totally forgot, but it's not a big deal, to be honest. Alright, so I'm going to take a little bit more of this gold, and I'm going to bring some right in through here, just lightly. Add a little bit of that shimmer right there, just so we have a little bit right up there. Alright. I'm gonna go white first, a little bit of purple, and more blue. And we're just gonna push it. And you definitely want to make sure you don't get all the way up into your cuticle like I just did. This nail has a tendency to, how do I want to put it? Or this finger, I guess you could say. That's a little weird, but really nothing I can do. Yeah, dude. Let's add a little bit more purple. Right here. Right here. Now this is just making sure that full background is completely done. And we have something there. Now we're going to float this up in this corner here. So it makes it look like it's supposed to be there. And we're just filling that little corner. Yeah, dude. Look at that. Perfect. Now, if you can't see, my apologies, guys. Bear with me here. You love it? Hi, Grace. They do remind me of a galaxy. They do. But well, because it's kind of like that, though. Because we're kind of doing like an evil eye set that I never done it. But now that is just how I marble, you guys. There are so many, like, ways that you guys can marble. I'm kind of trying to get, like, non-big glitters so I can fill this in a little bit more. So we kind of have more of the smaller glitters going throughout this. Because I feel like the bigger glitters are not my jam right now. I just want those little teeny tiny glitters floating in there. If I can get them. Because it does make a difference when you can see all of those glitters. You know what I'm saying? I needed a purple one in there anyway. Okay, so just gonna bring some of those down here. Now, this is preference, guys, but I want as much sparkle as I possibly can get in this middle part right here. And what I like to do is, typically I'll take some white and I'll run it through here, and it'll make it look like they're kind of in front and in behind the glitters. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense, guys. So I'm going to grab a few more of these not big glitters. And I'm going to add a little bit more here. So we can kind of bring it a little bit more here. Problem is, you don't want them, like, too close together. You want them, like, not in a freaking order. or in a line. You want them just kind of in there. So I'm going to take some of this glitter that's on my mat, and we're just going to add it like that. Because that's just what you do. Because if it's still wet, then you can add as much of this glitter as you possibly can, guys. And it will stick as long as it's wet. It's got to be wet, though. There we go. Because I feel like I should have just left it alone. Alright, I'm going to bring this up a little bit. We're going to... See how they're kind of like... That's what you want when you're putting this on. Okay? Because you can kind of direct where it's going. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm going to let that dry a little bit, and then we'll come back and we'll put that white on. So I'm going to take this, just a little bit of this white, guys. You're not going to need a lot, okay? I'm going to take just some of that. And I'm going to come right here. And I am just going to feather that on. Right through the middle here. It kind of makes it look like clouds, I guess, if that makes sense. Because that's the way I see it in my head. So, and we're just going to kind of cover it. Just a hair. Just a hair. And you kind of want it to be wet when you're doing it, right? You don't want it to, you want it to kind of blend and be wet at the same time. So you're going through the glitters, but like you're not at the same time. So it kind of looks like it's in and behind itself, but you still have the glitter that's in there, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense to y'all. That's just where my brain goes. Alrighty nighty, look at that. I like it. I like it a lot. What you think? I'm just glad y'all are here. Okay, I feel like I need a little bit more blue here. Gonna lightly bring this blue up. There we go. There we go. Yeah. Alright. That's how she looks like, guys. Beautiful, huh? Alright. So, for the next ones, we're going to kind of go a little bit on the easy side. We're going to do this as a complicated one, and then for the most part, the rest of them, one's going to be ombre, one's going to be full. What? Do we want a full... We're going to do bloom purple ombre, but do we want to do a full glitter, or do we want to do half glitter? Hi, Jenna! Hello! We are doing like an evil eye set, so. Full glitter. Okay. So, oh no, I kind of moved that over a little bit. Alright, let's see. Full glitter. Let's do the pinky. Should we do pinky full glitter? So I don't know how this one's gonna look, but... Hi, Crystal Plays. How are you? Hi, Kayla. Alright, I'm gonna get her wet. Meow. I'm gonna grab a good sized bead. Ooh, that's gonna be pretty. Okay, so when you have a chunky one like this, we're going to make sure that we're kind of maneuvering the glitters. We're going to go all the way to the side. We're going to move it up. We're going to pat. Move it to the middle. And I'm going to pull it down. Ooh, this is going to be such a pretty nail, you guys. Now, I'm going to... Sometimes you want to move, like, if you have too many of these bigger glitters stuck together, sometimes you want to move them around, guys, so that way, like, they're not all in one spot, if you will. Ooh, this is going to be a pretty. What do you guys think? Oh, yeah. Now, I just made these. I literally just made this, didn't I, guys? I just threw this together for us as a glitter nail. Wish I would have put a little bit more of that purple in it, though. You don't want huge gaping, like, divots, especially when you have glitter. Like a glitter nail. Ooh, look at that. That would be pretty as, like, a drop-down glitter nail. Wouldn't it? Oh, this is so pretty. Okay, I'm gonna melt that up. Bring our side in. We're gonna push that excess to the middle. And then I'm gonna pull down. Ooh, this is bomb. I kind of pulled down too early, but you can streamline a more of a less area, or you could make it like we did up there if you guys want to. You don't have to make it so jam-packed together if you don't want to, but it's going to be a beautiful clear chunky nail, which I like. And if you feel like you need more glitter somewhere, we can go back in and add glitter in certain places if you want, but by the time you're pulling it up the nail, it should just fill in any gaps that you have. Which I hope that makes sense. Guys, I love glitter. Oh my gosh. Okay, we're gonna make sure we have a good amount at the end here. So the whole thing is, you know. Nice and filled in with glitter. And then I'm gonna pull it up and melt it in. I say melt it in. A lot of people don't say that, but I do. Dude, thanks for hanging with me. How's everybody's night going? Hope your guys' night's going well. Mine's going great now that y'all are here. Okay, we need a little more here. Just to kind of give it some... And then I'm going to kind of take it over the side. Because I like to bring my color over the edge here. A lot of people don't like to do that, but I do. Okay, we're going to melt that in. Oh yeah. So that way you can still see glitter on the edge too. Nice. Ooh, that's beautiful. Dude, that's gonna look bomb with that color. Oh my gosh. Don't you guys think? We're gonna double tap. Grab us a small bead. Take a little bit of that liquid out. And we're gonna go right up here. And I'm gonna push up. over. I'm going to thin it out just a little bit because I don't like to get huge glitters up by the cuticle. Getting big glitters up by the top of your cuticle, guys, you have a really big chance of going through those glitters. And so I typically don't like to do that. I typically just like to meld it together, and then I'll go in and I'll show you how I do. I'll show you how I do my my glitter fade when it comes to the top of this, okay? So I'm just going to flatten this out a little bit here. Beautiful. So if you feel like you have any open areas, you're going to take your brush and just like this. We're just going to add it right here. We're not going to add a bunch of acrylic. We're just going to add that spot right there. Right? Oop. Don't do what I just did. So you can either do big glitters, small glitters, whatever, what may have you. Right? And if you think you need more, go back in and get you some of these little ones. We'll put you guys up here. That will also fill in cuticle area. So I'm going to break some of those up. And then we're going to make sure we melt that inward, guys. Now, once you put your clear on here, then you'll be able to fill in any spaces that maybe you missed or, you know, anything like that. But you want to make sure that your glitters are always down. So that way, you don't have such like a hump, if that makes sense. So we're going to fill this little area in here since I missed it. There we go. So basically you can just add these just like this without adding a crap ton of acrylic or the color, if that makes sense. And then that way you don't have to worry about, oh no, I put too much acrylic by the cuticle or whatever, you know. Just pat that baby in there. Lock sail. Yep. And then make sure you guys flatten your edges. Like so. Now, I see that right here. See how I have these little ones there, but I have nothing there? It's going to bother me. So we're going to take and grab us a nice little guy. We're going to put him there. We got to make it even. That's just how my brain works. So, I'm going to flatten that out. There we go. Now it's even, everybody. Alright, there is that now. Alright, so we're going to do the ombre. What type of ombre do we want? Welcome, Gabby. Oh, nice. I tried to sleep. Oh, damn. We got asses and straight jackets and everything. Oh, shit. Alright. What did I say? What color do we want a full nail of? The purple or the blue? I feel like we need a purple right here. Hi, Gabby. Pink, purple, and white. I think it will look beautiful. Well, I'm not doing any of the pink, but I could do the cover and then the purple and then the blue. Or the, wait, you said pink, purple, white. Is it heavy? So I think I'm going to do the ombre here. And then this one's going to be full purple or full blue. We got one for purple. purple, white, and blue glitter. I'm just doing a full one though. Purple, white, blue, and glitter. I'll do that on this one, since we have glitter over here. Oh, purple. Okay, they have spoken. Okay, I'm gonna have to tear... I gotta do this in my flash, because when you guys see it... Okay, ready? Oh my... Oh my god. Are y'all seeing this? Holy shnikes right now. Okay, I'm going to attempt to walk it down the nail, everybody. Okay? Now, if you know me, you know I cannot technically walk this down the nail. Okay? But I'm trying. I'm trying to do better. Oh my god, the sparkles. Okay, now I'm just gonna pull it because I don't think I want to get any more. Wow. Oh, can you see it? Oh my god, look at that sparkle. I know it's going in and out. If it is going in and out a lot, you guys, please let me know, okay? So I can try to, you know, move up and fix it and all that good stuff. Okay, so we're gonna go 1, 2, and 3. Oh yeah. Oh my good god. Alright, so we're gonna put what's in our left in our brush back into that bead. Pull it to the middle. I'm gonna go back into my monomer, and then we're gonna melt it together. So we're gonna melt it and pull up on it. Okay? So that's how you're gonna melt your bead into the one that you had already previously put on there, I guess, if that makes sense. And we're gonna keep our sides in. And I'm gonna keep my brush wet the whole time. As soon as you make contact with it, that's basically when you want to take your brush oh my god, that is just bonkers. Okay, I'm gonna pull this up a little bit so we flatten that out. Now, when you're doing a shimmer like this, everybody, you don't want big areas on the sides of your nail right here that come out and go whoop right at the end, because it's gonna be really hard. Hi, love. But that is a damn beautiful color, I will say. Okay, I'm going to pull this all the way to the side. We're going to bring this in the middle. And now, we're going to pull it down. So that way it don't go nowhere. And now, we can wet our brush and pull down. And it blends it in perfectly. So, if you do make the cut like I did down here, you will have that. So you do have to kind of be like make sure you keep the sides in, because you will have like a bulge, if you will. And I typically get bulges when I do it like that, so I'm definitely gonna have to bring it down on this side though. But that's a chef's kiss color right there, y'all. You know? Ah! And of course we're going to use that, because why the hell wouldn't we? Okay, I'm gonna get my brush wet so I can melt it and maneuver her. We're gonna take basically this excess over here, We want to make sure we get it all the way to the edge of the nail. And then we're going to pull down. Now, you can do this as just your background. So you're just kind of painting it on the nail, if you will. Or you can make it thick and use that as some of your structure. However, if you're going to use this as some of your structure, you need to make sure you... Because, of course, we have to make sure that, you know, if we are doing that, make sure you have enough on there for one. But you want to make sure it's not too thick as well. Because this is not strong as clear acrylic. Clear acrylic is your best, you know, strength powder. Does that make sense? So, going to... Oh my god, this color. I'm going to pull this up. And then I'm going to come and I'm going to flatten it, but I'm also going to pull it to the edge here. And then, once I get this pulled up a little bit more, then I'm going to pull this guy down and pat that in. Like so. Then we're going to take this and come around this edge. Blend that guy in. Oh man, I put my brush through it. Not a big deal. But you definitely want to make sure when you're bringing that color towards the edge right here, you don't have a bunch of bumpies right there. That's just my preference, but keep that in mind, everybody. Now, I'm going to push and try to flatten this as much as I can. I want it to be perfect on the sides, especially when I go to encap it with my clear. I don't want it to be too... Oh my god, that is beautiful! Okay, I'm going to do just a little... Excuse me. Just a little bit right here. Push her up. Same thing here. Push her up and to the side. And then we're going to pull her down. Just like that, real lightly. Oh yeah. Oh no, I got a glitter. Okay, I don't want to flatten it too much, but I also need to move it this way. Okay. Now, I am needing to go up a little bit right there, but whatever, it is what it is. Shit, that was way too much. I just need a little bit. So I'm going to take this guy. And we are going to pull this to this side. And I'm just literally going to draw over the side of this. And the reason why I do this is so that way the bottom part has a good amount on there, but that you also can't see that edge part of that tip. Even though I just put my brush through it. Shit. Oh, yeah. There we go. Alright, dude. That is a beautiful color. Holy shnikey. Okay. One more. Push up. Now just make sure you don't have any lines and it all melts into itself, okay? Okay. Look at it from this angle here. Let's flatten this out a little bit because you're gonna make your apex with your clear, guys. Now, your girl doesn't technically do clear, but, or an apex, but there she is. I think she's beautiful. And I need to push this up just a hair. I know it's not my hand, but I'm still, what is that word called? Particular? Does that make sense? I don't know. So I'm going to melt that going this way. There we go. And I'm going to push it up because I still can. And then we're just going to lightly go around. And then we're going to pull down. Alright, there we go. So this is what this set's looking like. More purple than I was expecting. Like, I forgot that we were doing Evil Eye set, guys. So, oh well, it's fine. But do you see what I mean where you can get these bulges right here? See that? So you want to try as much as you can to flatten your sides out. So that way you don't have a big bulge at the end. But what are you going to do? Alright, so this one's going to be an ombre, correct? What do y'all think? Shout out to everybody here. Thanks for spending the freaking Saturday with me. Damn, that is so beautiful. Look at that color, you guys. Holy shnikes. Yeah, I'm thinking we can start with... Let's just do a cover color. I was going to do a tri-colored ombre. So, like a 3-colored ombre. But I'm trying to think which color goes best with the tri-colored ombre. With these two colors. Let me see. I'm going to take this purple. This is what I do. So bear with me here before I put it on the nail. Right? So we're going to take this. We're going to melt that together. And then we're going to take this. And what we're going to do, typically I will run a cover. I'll go up over the color. That purple is towel worthy, I know, right? But we can do white or we can do pink. So here's our pink, which is also reflective. So we can either go pink, right? I'm going to pull that down so we can blend it together. We can go pink, blue, and then fade it up just like so. And then pull down, obviously. But we want that fade to be like... Or we do the pink last. And that will be like the cover going over the ombre. Do you like the cover? You guys are freaking awesome. Thanks for hanging with me, guys. I'm trying to... Because we have all this here. If I put that pink there, I feel like it's going to be maybe out of place. Alright, well, we're just going to do it. Okay, typically I start at the bottom, so that way the cover color will go over. Okay, I think I got it. So we're going to add some glitter to this one too, I think. So we're going to go little by little. Oh, shit. So we're going to take this blue. That was a very small bead, however. Try to bring it up over that edge. Oh, shit. Bring that excess to the middle. I don't know why I did such a small bead, but we're going to flatten it out. We're going to do more, don't worry. I don't know why. Oh, shit, I just put my brush in it. I don't know why I did such a small bead, but shit happens, y'all. Shit happens. Hi, Kristen. Kristen? Hi. Hi, Ashley. Thank you, thank you. So we're going to go about quarter way with this blue. Now keep it all the way up. Now it is cold in my room here, so it's going to take a little bit for it to kind of, you know, dry. It's not going to dry as fast. That makes sense. So I'm going to bring this to the edge here. Bring that edge in. Pull it down. Now, typically you want to pull it over that edge if you can. Okay, but if you don't have enough, it's fine. I am going to keep flattening it out and pulling over that edge. I would say these type of tips are probably one of the hardest, I think, if you're a beginner, to deal with because of the moon shape and how they're shaped and all that good stuff. Because if, look, I just went over the side of that like a dummy. Alright, we're going to go up a little bit more. I am using a small brush as well. We're going to go up one more. So you always put it up over the next one. Oh, shit. And I'm going to pat it to the side. Move that to the middle. And then I'm going to bring it down. And we're going to melt that baby in and up. Like so. Take excess off. And then we're going to pull this up and flatten it out. Just like so. Do you guys find doing nails like this relaxing? Look at that blue though. Oh, girl. Now use the back of your brush to kind of pull that and make that straight. Ooh, I love it. Alright, so I should just do this blue, huh? Just because we have this purple, we should do this one just blue. You know what I'm saying? And then put the cover going down to blue. I don't know, what do you think? Hold on, I need to get this corner. Dude, thanks for being with me, guys. I just need to fill this corner in here. Alright, same thing. We're going to blend that up. Then we're going to blend it in. So when you're looking at it, you can tell whether or not you have a huge gap from where that bead is, or you can also tell if it's actually blended in or not. I love you guys. Hi, Bean. You do too? I do too. Love it. Absolutely love it. Okay, so this is the part that we need to decide whether we're going to add purple or we're just going to do the cover on top, since we have a full purple now. What do y'all think? while you guys decide that, I'm going to clean my brush. Just for the sake of doing it. Oh, yeah, look at that. Oh. Beautimous, guys. Okay. Hi, Brianna. Hi, Rhonda. Alright, what you guys think? We adding that purple or what? I let you guys help and decide, so you guys, it's like you guys do the nail set with me, so it's like we did it together, you know? Oh, that's beautiful. Shit, that is beautiful. Alright, well. Okay, Debbie. Now, when you're adding, I'm going to come up here because I don't want to come right here like I do if I'm doing an ombre, because I don't want to pull a lot of this purple over, too much of the purple over the blue. Does that make sense? So, I'm going to hug all that to the middle and to the sides. And you're going to keep flattening it. You're going to keep holding it down. And then I'm going to make it wet. Take that excess off. And now I'm going to fade that down. And what I mean is I'm going to actually fade that into that blue, and it's all one. You see that? I don't know if you can tell, but it's all one, so you're perpendicular here. See that? So that's really how you get the perfect ombre. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes, yes. I'm going to bring a little bit more of this down. Oh, my good Atlanta, Georgia. Okay. So now we're going to take just a little bit more here. Take that monomer out of our brush. And I'm trying to decide how far up I actually want to go with this color. So, okay, we're gonna lightly feather that out. Bring that in. And we're gonna make sure we go over that whole thing so it melts it all together. Yeah. Yeah. That's how it's done, baby. Shit, I just put my freaking brush through it. No. It was perfect, damn it, I tell you. Look at that. Hi, Zen. Thanks. And then I will show you, because I'm going to add a little bit of glitter. Just a tippy bit of glitter. Alright, so let's take our cover. Now, our cover, we don't want to go down too far, okay? We do not want to go down. I repeat, we do not want to go down too far, okay? So, depending on how big your bead is, right, is how it's going to be structured on that purple, right? So, you're gonna bring it over, and we're gonna pull it down on the side. Now, I'm gonna bring any excess to the middle point here. And now I'm going to take my brush and I am literally going to pull down. See those lines that my brush creates? That's what I want. Okay? That's going to give you a really, really cool ombre effect. Make sense? And you still want to make sure you're keeping those lines in. And you still want to make sure it is flattened, right? You don't want, like, whatever, like right here, I have these 2 holes right here. I'll show you how I fix that. Okay, I'm gonna push this up a little bit more here. And then we're gonna pull it over. And then I'm gonna pull down, pull down. Now, typically you want this line right here to be messed up. You don't want it to be like straight across or anything like that. So keep that in mind when you are doing it, right? You don't want it straight across. Shit. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, dab it in just a hair, guys. Just a hair. And we're going to stick this guy right here. We're going to make it wet, though. You want this type of bead to be wet. So we're going to pull this down. We're going to pull that bead up. And we're going to lightly pat and pull that in. And that is going to get you just a very thin, not super thick. Because I really don't want mine super thick. Right? So, same thing over here. You want it really wet. I'm going to take some of the liquid out there. Same thing. You want it really, really, really wet. So, we're going to bring this over. Bring it up. Then we're going to pull this down just a tibby bit. Kind of want it to match the other side. Now, if you want it longer, you can still kind of pull and stretch that color if you want. I'm going to stretch this up. I'm going to stretch all the way to the side. Now, like I said, it needs to be fully wet. And then we're going to take that color, flatten that out, and bring it to the side. Now, if you're good with that, great. We're going to clean her up. Just like so. And then if you feel like you need a little more, look, you can make it just drastically just drop in. I don't like it when it's whatever, so I like it how I do it. If you do it different, let me know. Because that actually would be cool to see how other people do it. But when you have glitters like this, you can really do a lot of blending and getting the color the way that you want it, per se, if that makes sense. We're going to pat that in. Now, it's totally up to you guys how you want to do it and all that good stuff. But if there's something where it's kind of too much in one spot, you can still have enough time to kind of feather that down or whatever, if that makes sense. Now, I'm not an apex person, so I don't worry about the apex. What I am going to do is bring this up and over. I'm going to lightly pull this down. Oop. Dude, thanks for being with me, guys. And I'm going to wet that so I can do what I need to do. I'm going to come over to the side here. But just keep your sides in as much as possible. So now for the most part, I can see up my nail bed right there, and I could take and put more in there. Honestly, I really don't need to, but just for the sake of this, I guess I can. Just a tibby. Oop, my brush is too dry. You don't want that problem. I just needed to fill this top part in. I'm gonna blend that down. I can't believe I did that. That's okay. It's fine. Alright, we're gonna blend that. Nice. Alright. Now I'm gonna take this guy. So if you're doing this on yourself, please be careful. Do not get it on your skin. And if you do, make sure you get it off. Okay? Dude, this looks beautiful. How many of you guys do acrylic? Let me know. Alright, y'all. That's what they look like. So, let's bring in this little guy. I wasn't sure if we'd be able to see this or not, but figured we just kind of... We're just going to bring some of that up here. Now when you're doing this, you want to make sure you're tapping these little glitters and any of the clear that's coming with it. You don't want to pull it off the nail like I just did, but you still want to make sure that it's not super bumpy, guys, or you're going to have difficulty. And I don't want difficulty while I'm putting my clear on, if that makes sense. So we're just kind of giving it a little bit of a glitter fade, if that makes any sense at all. With a few bigger ones and smaller ones. And we'll bring it up. We're going to bring it down. And we're just going to kind of give it a little swirl. I don't want it to be like... Just know anything's possible. Okay, guys? Bring this big one here. And then we're going to flatten it. So we're going to pat that into the nail. But we also want to flatten it if there's any, you know, places that might be bumpy or whatever. So now I need some pull ones now that I got that blue on there. Now I only want it to go up the side, so. And then you just kind of got to maneuver them a little bit, right? And you don't want them in a line either, but you want it to go in a line. Does that make sense? Where you can tell that it's going in like a line. So I'm going to move this one. About there. Okay. There we go. Alrighty. I'm just gonna grab another one of these guys. I need a purple right there. It's probably a bit too much, but there we go. Goodness. We're gonna put her in the middle. Okay. There we go. That way we're kind of still at like a little angle there. Alright. We are going to pat those babies in. And I'm going to take a little bit of the smaller ones. Those are big. And we're going to fill this in here. There we go. Okay. There we go. That way it's not like by itself. Cool. Alright, y'all. That is our set, dude. I like it. I like it a lot. Do you? I think it's cool. The fact that you guys are even here, dude. Okay, we just needed one more. Kind of come down that side. Alright, dude. I couldn't get this side to come back in terms of the bulge on the side, but that's okay. Dude. I mean, that right there just looks good. We don't even have to do anything to the top of it. I mean, we just have to encapsulate, but... Beautifulness, everybody. How are you guys doing? Hi, Coyote. Thanks, Nana. Thanks, Cordy. Thanks, Alice. Thanks, Stacy. When you're encapsulating, guys, you want new monomer when you are encapsulating, and you want to encapsulate with a bigger brush. Does that make sense? Make sure you encapsulate with a bigger brush so you can cover a little bit more surface area. Okay, lovely. I'm going to clean my brush while those are drying. So, stick with me, guys. Just cleaning the brush. Dude, has anybody done anything fun yet? I know it's Friday, but technically, you want to make sure your, before you put your cap on your brush, you want to make sure it dries a little bit before you put your cap on your brush. Just so you know. Just so you all know. Okay. We're going to take this guy. Now we're going to put our lids on, everybody. While those dry. Hi, Susan. See you in a bit, love. Okay, so we are actually going to be doing we're going to be encapsulating, so I hope you guys like encapsulating glitter. Dude, I drove like all the way an hour and I think 40 minutes away from where I live because my car just broke, and so I have to look for a new one, and I ended up finding one. So wish us luck here. I cannot believe I have just made a mess of everything. Wish us luck, because I really want this car. Okay. So, we're going to take this guy, and we're going to take our paper towel. We're going to go like this. And we're going to clean it out. Ooh, we can see. Alright, we have our new towel. And what you want to do is put your towels in a baggie. A Ziploc baggie, guys. Okay? Clean the top of that. This cuts down on the smell in your room as well. So what you want to do is you want to make sure you take some alcohol and you want to spray out your dish. I don't care what anybody says. If you do not clean out your dish, you will inevitably have foggy, like when you encapsulate with your clear, you'll have glitter, or it can be foggy with just how dirty it is, you know? So just clean it out, and then you're good to go. Because when you tap your brush on the side of your jar, inevitably you get it all along the outside of your jar and everything. So, keep that in mind, everybody. Mine are all out with their friends right now. So, it's just me and the hubs tonight. And I was like, I told him, I was like, my ass is going live. I don't care what you say. He was like, oh, fine. You want to spend no time with me? I said, it can be after I get done, okay? Alright, I'm only going to fill it to that. If I need more, I'll add more, because I don't like wasting my freaking monomer. Alright, everybody. She should be good to go, although I'm not sure. But do you see how the bulge came? See, there's like a little bulge right here, in here. Not a big deal. Just, you know. Yeah. Just one of them things, y'all. So, I'm gonna push. Oh, she's still wet. Oops. Whoops! So I guess we're just gonna have to wait a second. It is kind of cold in my room, but dude, what was the weather like where you guys are at today? Where you guys are located? Was the weather like weird? Because mine got up to 61, I think the high was today. But at the same time, it was like super windy, like windy as a mofo. So it made it like real feel 52 or something like that. And I was like, oh my god. Get your mind out the damn gutters. Just kidding. We love the gutter over here. We love the gutter over here. Oh, shit. You guys are absolutely bonkers. So, I think I've done pretty good, guys. I got on at 6:40, 50. 6:50, and it's what? 8:30. So, almost 2 hours I've been on here. Not bad. That's okay. I'm trying to go kind of fast, y'all. You guys know me. I'm not very fast. I am using the Nailmate Crystal Clear Glass Slipper Acrylic. I'm trying to use it as much as I can because I don't want to open my Zule yet. I want to use all of my clear before I actually do it. So. Yeah, but dude, these colors are absolutely... I'm digging these colors for real, for real. Ooh. That literally almost went in my eyeball. Anyway, I went to look at my card today. And so when I went inside, the dealer had a cat. He had 3 of them in there. And he rescued every single one of them. I was like, aw. You know? Like, sometimes you would just... A lot of times, those people don't really care for rescuing animals. And so I was like, that's cool. Like, that's my kind of dude, right? Like, that's my kind of place. Just rescue them. It's cold. He was like, it's cold. I can't have them outside. And you know what he did? Ah, that's still wet. Damn it. He put them inside of his shop. So now his shop has 3 different cats in it that just wandered onto his lot, and he went ahead and gave them a home. I was like, are you freaking kidding me right now? Okay, we are still sticky. Whoop. Did you hear my glove fart? That was funny. Still sticky. This one I know isn't sticky. However, that's the only difference when it is cold out, you know, when your shit just doesn't dry up fast. Well, that's okay. But yeah, I was like, that's my kind of dude, you know? Or like my type of service, I guess. Because he was really, really nice. But you know how salesmen are. You know what I mean? You know how salesmen are. They're just like, they'll tell you whatever they can tell you to get you in the door, right? But, his wife was like, yeah, you want to take one home? You can get a car and a cat. And I said, no. I wish I could, but no. I just can't, so. I already have my other one. I'm already dealing with enough with that one. That's why I needed to go live, because, yeah. I'll be going live, to finish this set. Because we're gonna encapsulate this set, and if you guys want me, I'll obviously put the top coat on, and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's what they look like so far. And I think they're just beautiful. Oh, yay! Hi, Elizabeth. How are you, sweetheart? Hi, Ashley. Okay, so I put my jar like that so it's easier for me to pick up my acrylic at a 45-degree angle. Sometimes I hit this, but this one will just... Usually I start here and work here, but we're going to work on this one. Push her up all the way. And we're going to start encapsulating. And I'm using a bigger brush to encapsulate. Now, some people like to start at the very bottom and work their way that way. I don't typically do that. I just want to... Now, you want to be careful, too. We're going to push that clear up. Clear is your strength powder when it comes to acrylic. Okay? So, clear is going to be your best friend when in terms of making sure that you're encapsulating the nail, so that way you have enough strength so it doesn't break. So right now I'm just pulling it down the nail here. We're melting it and we're pulling it down the nail. What the monomer does is, what it's made with is it melts it to the nail, so that way it encapsulates your glitter and gives you strength. But right now I'm just melting it a little bit thinner up here. I left it on my brush a little bit too long. But the amount of how your room is, right? How cold your room is, how hot your room is, will play a role in everything. So keep that in mind, guys. Okay. You're gonna clean your brush. We're gonna move this back in the middle here. It's a hand, so it's a little bit different. But we want to melt this bead into that bead that we just laid. Because if you don't, you're going to have lumpies and bumpies, and you're going to be filing forever. And we don't want to do that, right? So we are going to make sure that I'm going to pull this over and down so we encapsulate that whole bottom half. So I'm going to pull this right over that edge, but I'm also going to add some force right over that edge. You want to keep your sides tucked in as much as possible, so you're going to use the barrel of your brush, which is the middle of where the brush hairs are. So I'm going to take this and we're going to cut it. There we go. Now, same thing. You're going to keep moving. And we're going to tap that in the edge because you want to make sure you encapsulate the entire edge. When you're doing moon-shaped nails, it's a little bit harder sometimes to keep it like encapsulated and straightened out. So sometimes you'll have to take your e-file and make sure you go, you know, along the inside edge to clean that up and out. Just like I am doing there. There we go. And we're just gonna melt that. Boom. And then you just want to make sure you're looking at it from the angle that you need it to, because you don't want super big divots, okay? So you want to push in if it's still wet as much as you can and look from this angle to this angle. We have a little dip right here, which is fine. But for the most part, you just want to make sure we're going to go like so, boop, just like that. Now I'm going to take this and flatten it like so and pull down, so that way when you're pulling this part down, what it is it's going to allow that to flow where you pulled it down at instead of going to the sides. Does that make sense? So I'm gonna make sure this bead gets melted in up and pull back down. Now, I did miss the side portion right here, and I forgot. Now, when you're doing a clear glitter nail, you want to make sure your encapsulation, you know, not a bunch of bubbles if you can help it, yada yada, all that good stuff. You just want to make sure you're encapsulating the entire side part. Because right here I forgot a space. So most of the time you can tell a difference because when you got it fully encapsulated, it will turn matte, as you can see. So I'm going to take most of that out of my brush so I can come up and do the apex bead. I'm going to pop any bubbles that may be in there. There will be some in there. And some, oh shit. That went way too far out. Whoops. But for the most part, you want to tap, pull, and then kind of just bring it and melt it all to like so. I kind of accidentally let it go up into this part of the nail. So what I'm going to do is wet my brush, and I'm going to take this excess and I'm actually going to pull that down. I'm going to go around this outside, clean that off. We're going to come back around, and then we're going to melt it back down the other way. Just a little bit. So then I'm going to take this guy and I'm going to melt it just like this. Then I'm going to push upwards here. Just because of how my hand is. And then you want to make sure, like I have clear in my brush now, but you want to make sure that you're looking at it from here to here. You do want to make sure you have a nice little apex bead up here, but your girl doesn't do apex beads, so we're not going to get apex beads today, okay? I hope that made sense, guys. If it didn't, let me know. I'm not a nail tech. I'm just an enthusiast. That way you know. Okay, I'm going to take most of that out of my brush. I'm going to stick that right here. Oh. Now, I'm going to flatten this top part. We're going to bring it to the side. And then I'm going to pull it down just a tibby bit. Now, when you have a longer nail, that means your apex is going to be in a different area than where it typically would be on a regular, like, smaller nail, if that makes sense. So you kind of want to come down, and you want your nail to come down like this. You want a nice little apex, and then you want it to come down at a slant. That's the perfect way, I feel, but that's me. That's me. I'm going to... And the only thing I'm going to do is add another bead here. Right here. Because that is where I'm going to pull that. And then I'm going to fill that up. So what I'm going to do is slightly brush upwards. Like so. There we go. Come down. And that way, we don't have that much of an infill to do in terms of the sides, and it's all one right here. So when you go to file, you don't have to worry about it. Plus your sides are all golden. They're ready to go. Your end is capped. Ta-da! There she is. What do you think? I will let you guys know that I do not buy kits off Amazon. I do know that they do come in handy sometimes, but I do not trust the acrylics in them kits. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm sorry. It's worth splurging the little extra bit on kits. At least all you need is clear and a couple colors from, you know, you can get the clear and the monomer really, really good from a really good reputable brand. I'm very sensitive, so I can't use those kits, but a lot of people can. I'm not saying that. Sorry. I'm not saying it. I'm good. You're loving it? Yay. Me too. I mean, I don't want to say it. Y'all can say it if you want to. But I'm my own person. I'm not just gonna... Just because you want me to say it, because you say, oh, I'll subscribe if you say that. And I am my own person. And don't listen to too many people. So, just saying. I'm here for the nails and the good time with people. I mean, it's funny, don't get me wrong, but then again, it's not at the same time, so. Not when you got a bunch of freaking little kids saying this shit. I think it's bullshit, to be honest. I don't think it's funny. Especially when you have, like, teachers are saying it in classrooms and stuff like that, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Do you not know what the hell that actually means? Like, come on, people. Do your research. Do your research. My daughter will not say it. Which I'm glad, because she was like, Mom, you know what that means, right? And I said, yeah. Do you know what it means? And then she explained it to me, and I was like, yep, you got that right. I said, you better not be saying it. She was like, I'm not. Which all kids say, I'm not, Mom, I'm not. But I really do trust and believe my kid, because she isn't like that. Like, if she goes to cuss, guys, she asks me, Mom, like, if we're talking, she'll be like, Mom, can I just say it, please? And I'm like, fine. Just this once. You know what I mean? Because I know they're teens. They got to get their aggressions out and stuff, too. So I get it, right? I'm not that, like, shitty of a mom. Or, like, not shitty, but mean. You know what I mean? Like, oh my god, you said this. No. That's not how I work. But at the same time, this is my channel, and I do nails, and, I don't know. I don't like to be told what to do. Just saying. I mean, you always feel free to still subscribe because your girl knows how to do some nails. But if you ain't here for nails and you just like to watch, that's cool too, dude. Nothing against it. I have a lot of people that like to watch me do nails. However, if you think I'm going to say something just because you say you're going to subscribe to me, well, honey, you got another thing coming, baby. Because I am not that desperate for those types of things, because I can get it on my own. So, however, I wish you a great night. I just feel like, what is that word I'm thinking of? I feel like it's, crap. I'm trying to think of the word. What is the freaking word, y'all? It's not like morals or anything like that. I'm not trying to be like sophisticated. But I cannot think of the word that I'm thinking of. It's right there. But yeah, anyway. Any hoozle. Like, because you know how, like, people will say, do this, or I'm not gonna do this. Or, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, what the fuck? Why do you tell people that? Like, do you get a kick out of that? Because I don't care if you're a kid or not. Like, if anything, you're just gonna piss people off. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm pretty patient. You have to really piss me off for me to, like, get, like, you know, whatever. But, I mean, it is what it is. I just... Get a grip, people! Get a grip. Just saying. But I love you guys for being here. Alright, I'm just making sure I don't go through this spot here. I'm going to pull that down like that, so that way, like, it doesn't go anywhere else. And then I'm going to blend it up, and we're going to melt that. So I'm going to lightly pull down, literally, barely any force, so that way, when we're looking at it this way, we don't have to worry about, not having enough on there and a huge dip in the middle. We're looking pretty fancy, schmancy. The only issue I have is I got a little bit of extra right here, so I'm going to have to be careful when I'm doing the bottom of that. So I'm going to make sure that I take this around the edge, so that way I know I am encapsulating that edge, so I'm not going to go through that glitter. And we're going to pull that back up like so. Blend it in. Ta-da! And then we're going to clear it out like this. And then take your excess in the outside. Like so. Now, you can have the bulges on the side, but for the most part, you want to make sure you're taking that inward. Now, your file will get the inward point, but I think for the most part, it's just going to be that way. Because of the way I did it. But that's okay. But do you see what I mean? You want it to be nicely, you know, you want to make sure you have a good amount of there. So I'm just going to take this guy because I don't want to go through this edge part. And I'm going to push this guy up. Shit. I just went right over that damn thing. Oh well. Okay. I can't believe I did that. I mean, I just think sometimes people are just trolls when they do stuff like that, which we all know that, right? But at the same time, don't you have standards? Am I the only one? Like, I'm not trying to be a dick, but at the same time, I'm just saying. Just saying. Anyway. Alright. That was great. We got enough in there. Awesome sauce. Okay. For the most part, you don't want a bunch of monomer on your skin. And you don't want it to pop out. You want to keep that thin and nice, you know. Use the barrel. This is the barrel of your brush here. Now, we're going to clean that. Get any excess out of there. Now, each time you want to make sure you're... Tasha! Hi! Hello! How are you, sweetie? How's your party doing? Going, I should say. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to melt this. That's okay. Now, this is a little bit different because this is a marble. And you want to make sure that you're getting in those crevices without making huge, like, gaps, right? So, what I'm going to do is just lightly pull this up so that way we can kind of melt that together. And I am going to take this and we're going to lightly clean the brush every time we pull down. Just like so. And we want to make sure our edges are in. And every time you do that, you're going to fill in certain areas of the marble. Okay? Now, I always start at the bottom for some reason. I used to always start at the top, but for the most part, you want to get that top portion so you can melt that into the bead that you just did. We're going to push this back over here, melt that upwards, clean that edge off, and then we're going to pull down this just a little bit. Like, you don't have to, like, put so much, force when you are pulling that color down or the clear down that you are going through and making big divots in the nail. Does that make sense? I hope that made sense, guys. But I hope that you guys are having a great time and that you're loving the set. I love the acrylic application. The acrylic application is my favorite part about doing acrylic nails, is like coming up with the creation, and then when you not just come up with the creation, but when we are actually doing the end cap. Now, I'm not one of those people that can, like, fortunately pull it completely down the nail all at once. I'm not that type of person, so. I wish, but I'm not. Okay, so we're going to pull that. So that fills in those gaps, just like that. You see that? Real nice and flat. Woo! On both sides here. Now, I'm definitely going to have to do one right here at the edge, but that's okay. Don't mind. And you want to make sure you're not, make sure you're cleaning your brush, because clear is going to inevitably make it into your brush a little bit more than the colors will. So, just make sure you're kind of making, you know, making sure there's not big globs in your brush, right? Oops. I do like this a lot. Okay, so for this, I'm going to take a little bit of that out, and we are going to start right there. We're going to bring it to the middle. Okay, and then we're going to, oops, shit. We're going to bounce it to the side there. And I'm going to pull the sides down so it doesn't fall to the side. Right? So at this point, we're just going to lightly pull down on it. So you should have a dip. And then I'm going to take this guy and we're going to lightly kind of thin it out at the top just a hair. Most people don't do that, but I like to do it because, I don't know. Okay. Nice. Alright, so now we're going to do our cuticle bead. 1, 2. Going to take the monomer out, and we're going to go right at the top here. This was kind of a bigger cuticle bead because I kind of wanted to push it up and still make sure I had enough to go across the entire nail. Does that make sense? So I'm going to keep pushing. Shit, I just hit my hand. So I'm going to pull this, and then we're going to push that excess to the side, and then push this up, and then there we go. Now I'm going to bring this in. I can't believe I did that like a goofball. Today is just something else when it comes to encapsulating these babies. Alright. Now for the most part, I want to make sure there we go. Nice. Nice. Alright, so I'm going to make sure I take the barrel of my brush. Nice. So the only thing I'm going to do is do one more at the bottom here. Take some of that out, and we're going to put it right here. Now keep your hand down. Make sure your brush is wet, and then pull up and melt that bead all the way up into that bead. Right? And then I'm not really a patter, so bear with me. I'm going to pat this down, so bring that over. Nice. Okay, make sure your ends are good. Oops, I just stuck my brush through that. What do you guys think? Now we're good. We have a little dip right here. I'm not going to really worry about that little bit of a dip right there. I think it's going to be fine. The only thing I'm worried about is the edge. So I'm going to clean my brush, make sure there's no added extra clear, and I'm going to take this. We're going to do just a tibby bit. I'm going to take that monomer out, and I'm going to go like this. Now, I did learn this on Zule. So I'm going to pull this up, and we're going to melt that back. And then we're going to pull like this. That way, we are pulling that right over that edge. Like so. And we know we got it capped. Nice. I've been doing this for 4.5 years. And I didn't start until 2022. I didn't start acrylic until 2022. I started my channel back in at the end of 21, so almost 22. So it's been a minute. And trust me, I've just gotten to the point where I'm like better than what I was when I first started. Because I used to just slap it all on, didn't I, guys? I used to just literally slap it all on and go from there, and it, you know. But I've just wanted to become better, you know, and the only way to get better is to make sure that you're taking like precautions and wanting to do a better job, right? But I applaud you if you want to do nails. Do you do nails? I started with polygel, and then, well, dip powder, right? Dip powder was like my very first thing that I ever did, because I used to get acrylic on my nails all the time. However, before I started my channel back in 2021. I didn't actually start doing anything or trying new things until 2022. But I always did like regular glitter nails with regular lacquer, and that's where basically I started. But I was too scared to get on YouTube. I was so scared to get on YouTube, and I wanted to do it so bad, and I was like, nope, 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 I'm not doing it. And I was working at the time, and I hated the smell of lacquer, and it was driving me bonkers, and I was like, you know what, I can do this shit. And then I got so scared, I scared myself. I was like, oh, you know how you get in your head and you're like, you can't do this, you're not good enough, blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? That's how it was in my head. And so it took me about, how many years did it take me to actually start? That was back in 2018, 2017, 2018. And I didn't actually start my channel until 2021, 2022. So yeah, so that's how long I hindered myself from actually starting my channel, even though I really wanted to do it so bad. I just wouldn't let myself do it. Does that make sense? But I initially started with that, and then I went to dip powder, right? I got dip powder nails and acrylic nails, and which was fine, right? But when I got my dip powder nails, I learned my lesson. Let's just say. Because I moved and I went to a new nail shop, and they were really nice, but they were out of a house, which is fine. I didn't have any problem with it. And I had just never been in one before like that, right? And so I got there. It was a little weird because they didn't quite do, they didn't do the pour over method. So my hand had been in the same jar that like all these other people's hands had been in. And immediately I started like feeling the effects, as soon as she got done and top coat and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, are you supposed to be, doing this or whatever? And she's like, oh yeah, yeah. And she wouldn't really answer my questions or anything like that. And so, because I was asking her like all kinds of stuff about her, her products, and like what, where did she get them and stuff like that, just being polite, like whatever. And yeah, I kid you not, I ended up getting contact dermatitis. I was sick for 2 freaking weeks, and that was my first introduction into a type of issue. Like, mind you, I have lupus, so I'm already, what do you want to call it? Hi, Sandra! I'm already, like, how do you want to say that? Compromised? Immunocompromised, or whatever the fuck you want to call that. But I didn't think anything of it, right? You always think, oh, it's not going to happen to me, you know? And here I was, sick as a freaking dog, and it actually made me sick. Like, it was insane. My hands were on fire. It was absolutely horrible, and there was nothing I could do. They just gave me some cream, and the cream didn't work. I was on steroids, and it was absolutely horrible. So I was like, you know what? Screw all this. Like, and then I found out as I was sick, they shut down. The health department actually shut them down because somebody else had gotten the same thing, and they too reported it. And so, like, I didn't find this out until, like, my gosh, way after, though, I just had seen that they had shut down. I was like, what the hell? I was like, these guys were just open. What the hell's going on? You know what I mean? And so after that, I just said, if they can do it, I can do it myself. And I can, like, buy the stuff and put it on myself. And that way, it's me that's putting it on me. And it's me that is making sure, you know what I mean? That, like, I can make sure what ingredients are in there and all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, when you're new, you don't think about, how do I want to put that? You're just excited, right? So, like, when you're new, you're excited. You don't want to necessarily think about certain products hurting you or whatever, but yeah. So that's how I became obsessed, and I ended up becoming obsessed because I really wanted to try everything. I wanted to try gel, polygel. I didn't want to do acrylic at first because I was super scared, but is that I thought it was the acrylic's fault, and that I couldn't have acrylic because of that. So, but it wasn't. It was not the acrylic I was allergic to, it was how she did it. And so, yeah. Let me see. We have one right there, and then we are done encapsulating. But for the most part, I then tried acrylic, and I started making my own dip powders. And when I did that, I fell absolutely madly in love with acrylic. And I mean, I started making my own glitters and dip powders the moment that I basically started my channel, which is crazy to think now because the colors we use today, I literally hopped on here and made the one. I had already made the ones prior, but yes, I used to sell acrylic on here. I may go back to selling it. I don't know. But if you guys want individual colors and stuff, like if you're a certain person, you want individual colors, just let me know. Like if you want something made or whatever, you know what I mean? Now, okay, I need to do the top of this. I do not have enough monomer, so give me one sec, guys. I just, that was the start of my journey. Like, and when I first started my journey, I didn't know what the hell I was doing, guys, right? Like, I just did my videos, and I had my very first kit that I ever got was from Beetles. And the kit that I got from Beetles was a dip powder kit. It was the pastel cupcake one. And I was just so ecstatic because it was so pretty. And I was like, oh my gosh, I had never done a vertical ombre with any type of color before. And so I said, you know what, I'm just going to do it. And so I did, and that was my very first video I ever put on YouTube. And it's still up till this day. It is a doozy, but it was still really, really awesome to see, though, because I didn't even know what the hell I was doing, and yet there I was doing it. You know what I mean? Oh, shit. But yeah. And then I got sick with that. The Beetles. I will never touch Beetles products ever again. Not their gels, not anything that they make. They made me so sick. I was so freaking sick with them. And it was the dip glue. Like, the dip powder kit glue. And the base just made me so freaking sick. Like, I was sick for a good week or so, and I didn't exactly know what it was from, and it just, oh, it was horrible, you guys. It was so bad. Like, the dip powder liquids were so bad, and what I hated was the fact that people got on YouTube and they were like, oh my god, this is so amazing, do 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 do, right? Not once did they say that it smelled super bad. Not once did they say, this has a smell to it. However, it doesn't bother me or whatever, right? Not once did they do that. Okay? It was very hard to find somebody at the time that I started that actually would do that. That would actually say that. And it pissed me off. So, because I knew if it was that bad for me, I knew that other people were having issues. They just weren't saying it. And so I said, you know what, screw this, I will never touch this brand again, and I never have, never, not one time. So, and for the most part, I've seen so many people have all these issues with Beetles, mainly Beetles, you know what I mean? There isn't really, like, Model 1s was my go-to brand when I first started. I absolutely love Model 1s. Their polishes are still really, really good. And I just hate the fact that they come in those tiny ass jars. Like, come on, people. Stop sending me jars or polishes that are fucking tiny, okay? Just stop it. Just stop it. Who the fuck wants tiny jars? Not jars, but tiny freaking polish bottles. Listen, it's good if you just want to try out the brand, and I get that. If you're just starting out and you want to try a brand, I do understand. I totally understand. I totally get that. However, if they ask you to be like a brand ambassador or whatever, or collab with them, and they send you those tiny ass bottles and want you to do so much stuff for those tiny ass bottles, do not do it. I don't care. Seriously, I don't care if they are Model 1s or who the fuck it is. I don't. Because at the end of the day, it's your time, right? It's your time, and I guess it's, obviously, ultimately, it's up to you whether you want to do something like that or not. It really is, right? But for me, however, I will not settle for them tiny ass bottles. I won't do it. I just won't do it. That's just me, though. Yeah, dude. Hype everybody up. I don't know if anybody was listening. I just felt the need to ramble at that point. But anyway. So yeah. And then I got into acrylic, and I haven't looked back since. I did do polygel, and then I did dip, then polygel, then, I got into gel polish itself, and tried builder gel once, hated it, and never looked back. Stayed with polygel for a while and acrylic, and, I have been doing acrylic ever since. I also do polygel too, and nail art, and all that kind of stuff. And I only work for a few brands. Like, I dedicate going to, like, if a brand reach out to me, it depends on who it is. But, I don't just go with every single brand, no matter what, just because they come ask me. I used to be that way when I first started because I was so excited. However, I don't do that no more. I've also gotten rid of a ton, and I mean a ton of fucking brands, because their expectations are so fucking unreal and bullshit, and they don't give a shit about you. And yeah, you need to make sure you have a what do you want to call that? Like, just make sure you don't let these brands push you the fuck around. Just saying. Because in the beginning, I did, and they're like, I want this, and I want that, and da-da-da-da-da. So I did it, and stressing myself out with doing videos, and it got to a point where I was like, dude, you guys are making me not even want to do videos, because I can't even do my own shit, because you want me to do this, this, and this, and I'm not even getting paid for it. But because I'm not some big YouTuber, I thought that I didn't have, like, I couldn't do that, right? Like, I couldn't be the one to say anything or stuff like that, if that makes sense. So, yeah. But we're going to I'm going to set these inside of my, my lamp, so that way it can kind of, because it's really cold in here. So I'm going to set her inside of my lamp. Disclaimer, do not set your hand inside of your lamp to dry your fingers. If you have all over your skin, don't put it in your lamp at all. Go wash your hands first before you put your hand in your lamp at any given moment. Please and thank you. Okay, I need to go grab another bag. I'll be right back. You guys chat amongst yourself, and I'll be right back. I got to grab another bag. Look at this huge hefty bag, guys. My whole head can fit in this bag. What the shit hizzle? I put these in the wrong bag, so we're gonna put those in this big ass hefty bag while those dry. Look at this guy. And it seriously keeps the smell out, which I love. And then this guy goes in here. That keeps the smell down. That goes in my door. Okay, so this towel I'm going to fold because we have a bunch of acrylic on there. I'm really glad though that we made those glitters. Hi, Tammy! The Yogi brand, I thought they just shut down, like, period. I always heard really good things about them, but I just never knew. You know what I mean? We're going to be using Zule's top coat, my new fave. My top favorite top coats are my Brit Brat Nailed It Glossy, and then my Zule's, and my Varnail Glossy Glass Top Coat, and my Madame Glam. Those are my 4 top coats, guys. Excuse me. Thank you for helping me. I can't wait. Cannot wait. So yeah, I made these colors right before I came on. I can't believe. And they were perfect, mind you. Them colors were freaking perfect. I don't care who you are. Them colors were freaking perfect. Hi, Timmy. Shout out to the 55 of you in here. Dude, it is. Did you need Zule's black acrylic? I do. The black hole, right? Oh, I've been looking at it for months, dude. And you know, Zule's had, I couldn't find those. You know, like, she just did Mimi's nails, and Mimi's nails have, like, the LV quilted heart charms. She had all the colors, and you got 9 of them. You got the round ones, and you got the heart ones. LV and Chanel. She had them on there, and my dumb ass forgot them, and then when I went back, they were all sold out, and I was so mad. I was so mad. I was so mad. I really was so mad. I was like, when are you gonna get more in? I was like, do you have a waiting list or something? Because I need to know. Because I really do love her acrylic. I loved the basic acrylic kit. I loved everything about my November box. I loved it. Even though they marbled a little bit. Once you patted out the color, it went away, which is fine. I may have not liked, like, a couple colors. However, I liked the consistency. And guess what, guys? The monomer didn't make me sick. The monomer didn't make my child sick. And it didn't linger in my bedroom or anything like that after I got done. It was, like, basically done or out of my room. And, it didn't make me break out. It didn't make me sick. So I'm like, finally, I found a good monomer that doesn't make me sick. And so, I'm very grateful for that. I've been wanting to try Zule for a very, very long time, but like I said before, I would always just make my own acrylic. So, I'm like, no, I'm not going to buy a bunch of other acrylics that I'm not going to end up using because I make my own. But I am so glad, because I do still need, like, super pigmented ones that don't have no shimmer in them, because all mine have shimmer in them. Because I don't have, like, my pigment is a lot different. So I want some non-shimmer ones too, in colors that I typically wouldn't get. So that's why I got the, because I knew she was going to put the November box. It was all going to be those bright ass colors. And I was like, hell yes, this is mine. Because the neons, I have no neons like that. You know what I mean? So I was super stoked. Super freaking stoked. Okay, these are still sticky. Okay, bear with me, guys. I am so sorry. I'm gonna put these in my lamp upside down so the bottoms can actually do what they gotta do. But I hope you guys like chilling with me. Okay. But I was thinking, like, if we did the... I'm going to throw top coat on them. What time is it? 9:23. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and file, you guys. And then we'll go from there. Hey, Haley. How are you? Dragon Claws, how are you? How you doing? How's everybody doing? Oh, I forgot that glowed in the dark, guys. Holy shit. I totally forgot about that. Here they are. They're still a little sticky, but they'll be alright. They shall be alright. Boop. Because I literally did not think at all that I was like, you know what? I'm not going to need any of those. But for the amount of money that I paid for the acrylic nail kit, because I'm like doing the Valentino one too at some point. And I want to try the Zany Nails one too. But for the acrylic nail kit, as a beginner kit, you get everything. You don't have to buy anything separate. You get the top coat, you get the monomer, you get you know, like a clear, but you also get a glitter. You get one solid color, the clear, and a cover. And I just, and you get the brush and everything. So I just feel like that was like the optimal like kit. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Okay, this is my Melody Slizzy. Whatchamacallit? What do you want to call it? I forget. Ta-da! Oh! Hi, Luke! Oh no, Dragon! Good God, that sucks. Girly! Okay, we're gonna go low, so it ain't so freaking, you know. And we're gonna be using this guy. And this guy. I don't know why I put those back in there, because I don't do it. I don't shape with them inside my hand, so I don't know why I did that. So yeah. But yeah, I've just stuck with acrylic ever since. Just because I wanted to do everything and anything when it came to acrylic. I definitely like the colors I made. Hell yizzle. We're gonna get behind there. Dude, thanks for coming to hang out with me. I think the colors are bomb. That is one thing I can say. I think the colors are bomb. Yeah. I typically don't like to use my hand, or my e-file. I like the hand file, but yeah. It's definitely a glitter moment. Definitely love the glitter moment for sure. Dude, I don't like regular fall colors. So I try to do like different like fall type of colors, if that makes sense, you know? Alright, we are gonna take this down flat, and then we'll come inward. Yeah. Alright, now we're gonna go this way. And then what you do to one side, you do to the other. All the way. Whoa! How many of you guys tried the acrylics from Valentino, though? Do you guys like Valentino? Do you not? Is it good? I've heard a lot about the covered acrylics, but I don't know much about, like, their colors, if you will. But I was thinking, the beginner kit looks really good for the amount that they have it. You know what I mean? It looks really, really good for the amount that... I think it's 150, but I think with the Black Friday thing, it's on sale. Oh, yeah. Nice. Alright, I'm going to bring this. You want to make sure it's the same on each side. You don't want it to be, like, sticking out. So, typically, it would probably be faster if you did this with your e-file, but I don't want to. I have way more control with this guy than anything. But we're just going to do top coat with this guy tonight. I'm going to get as much as I can out from underneath that. Yeah. No worries. Alright, so since I have this here, we're going to go ahead and... Ooh! Oh yeah, look at that. Nope. Not going to do those nails, and I'm not going to say it. Frankly, I'm quite tired of hearing it. Stupid as hell. Dude, am I the only one that thinks that is stupid? I mean, it's not even funny anymore. I mean, if you want to do that, you can. Your nails. However, I'm not. Right? Thank you, Tammy. Thank you. Like, come on, bro. Like, it was funny at first. I was like, oh, whatever. Why are people doing this? Then I learned about it, and I was like, fuck that. Excuse my French. But, just saying. Alright. Nice. Means basically like you use a hoe. But to have like little kids saying that shit, you know, I'm like, no. I'm good. I'm like, why and what for? What is the point here? Like, I first started seeing it, like, I'm not on TikTok, so, like, most of you guys know that I'm not on TikTok. And, it was funny at first, because I didn't know what the hell was going on, and then next thing I know, it became, like, this thing where teachers were doing it, everybody was freaking doing it, and I'm like, what? I was like, why? For what? You know? Like, what the hell is the point? But seeing, like, the little kids do it, and the little kids think that it's nothing, that it means nothing, I'm like, it's not nothing, for one, and for two, like, I don't know, to me it's not funny. I don't find it attractive or funny. It was like, at first it was, because I didn't know, like, what it was about, right? But then, it got to a point where then, like, I even heard people's kids at the gas station saying it to the gas station attendant, and I'm like, are you not gonna say something? But it's not my kid, so, you know, I'm not gonna be like, hey, can you shut your kid up? You might want to explain to them what they're talking about, but I'm not gonna say that because it ain't my kid, so, you know what I'm saying? But I felt bad for the gas station girl because she was like, she tried so hard to just be nice. You know what I mean? And I was like, what the freaking, you know what? So, I always get the inside and the bottom of my nails, you guys. Because it's a must. It's a must. Like, I get people thought it was funny and whatever, but I hate TikTok. I don't know about you, but I cannot stand TikTok. I refuse to get on TikTok. I refuse. I refuse. I don't like her. But for the most part, we're going to go down the side here straight like this. I'm going to take it underneath. And you want to be careful you don't do what I just did and you know, go through this edge part. I like them when they're really nice and crispy, but I accidentally went through it. No big deal though. Alright, so we're going to go up and down. But I was like gobsmacked when my daughter came home and she said that they were doing it at school too, right? And I was like, what the why? And then I was seeing teachers do it and allowing their students to say it as like a cool fun game, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? What is going on with our world today, right? Like, I mean, I don't know. I'm probably the only one that felt that way, but at the same time, I'm like, what the flying hell? Okay, I'm gonna bring this in. Ah! See what I did? I accidentally shaved that damn thing off. And you don't want to shave it off too much, guys. And a lot of the time, well, a lot, but most of the time, your file will show you exactly where you need to file. So this needs to be taken in more. Nice. Nice. And no matter what I do, I'm going to have a big old bump down here, so I'm just going to have to deal with it. For the most part, it's just going to be on the side here. That's not bad. But I just hate it when people come on to people's channels and they demand shit from us who are going live, and then they demand things and it's like, what? Excuse me? And who are you? You know what I mean? Like, come on, bruh. Look how amazing. Dude, if you keep saying it, we're gonna block your ass. Just plain and simple. Like, I ain't been looking at the chat, but I just happened to look up, and that is like I don't know how many time you've done that. You like the nails? This one? Yeah, we're almost to those. Right now I'm buffing the nails so we can get a nice, like, no texture. Ah! Thank you. mean, I guess you'll understand, because clearly you guys aren't old enough, and if you are old enough and you're still doing it, well, this kind of says a little something about you, right? But I hope you know, I'm gonna wish y'all nothing but the best, and we're gonna send you, because we need to send you some smartness. Okay, we're gonna send you some smartness. We're gonna, you know, send you some smiles. Send you little brains. Alright, dude. Alright, nice. I'm gonna come down. Same issue, damn it. Typically, you want to make sure you take your little thing and come through here. I didn't want to, but... Thank you. Okay, well, I cut that little bit off there, but what are you gonna do, right? One side's longer than the other, so we'll just take it down. We'll take this side down a little bit. I will say, this buffer has replaced Steve for the bare moment in time. Alright, nice. The only thing that I hate is we'll have to... Nice. And I like using these too because they're nice. They're not as hard or harsh. But this is 80 grit, so it's going to go through the acrylic much nicer, faster, and all that jazz. I know, right? Dude. I saw this, oh my gosh. You guys will get a kick out of it too because it's so funny. Have you guys seen that reel on Instagram where the girl and the guy have her cat? It's like an orange cat, and she has like some dry shampoo or something in her hand, and she's using it for a microphone, and they're like, the one song, she's like lip singing the song from Nelly, the I Love You one or whatever. It's the Nelly song. Anyway. And the cat the husband takes the cat, right? And he shoves it into the camera every time it goes, ah, you know? And so every time it did that and it went, ah, the cat's mouth would open every single time. Every time they did that. It was the funniest shit. It was probably one of my favorite reels ever. It was the funniest ever. Like, I love it. I sent it to everybody. Like, I sent it to my daughter, I sent it to my son, my hubby, I sent it to Cordy, I sent it to Conjure, I sent it to everybody. Well, damn near everybody. Okay, I cut this crooked, but you just want to make sure that you don't take this down too much on the backside here. It's like, Nelly eye, you know, and the cat's like, ah. It's freaking amazing. We're gonna go back and forth. You haven't seen that? I'll send it to you. Hi, Michael. You're in the Netherlands? Wow, shout out to you. Did any of you guys get to see the, oh my gosh, what are they called? The Northern Lights come this far? Did you guys get to actually see them from where you guys are at? I didn't actually get to see it. I fell asleep like a goofball. I was freaking sick, so I didn't end up getting to see them. However, you could see them in Ohio a little bit, I guess. from what I was told, but from where I'm at in the country, you can always see them. Like last year, I could see them, and I guess this year they said we came like, if it would have went any longer, we would have been, like, it would have kicked us out, like, to the ice ages or some shit like that, like, back to the ice days, I guess, because if it would have lasted any longer than what it did actually last, I don't know how true that is. I'm a scientist, but we all know how everything goes when it comes to that sort of thing, so, yeah. I just thought it was crazy, because last year I did get to see them, which was cool. It was actually really, really cool. It wasn't as much as you would think, like, does that make sense? Like, for me, it wasn't like I thought it was going to be when we stopped on the side of the road, because, like, we stopped where it was, like, pitch black out in the country, because I live in the country, and, we stopped out on the back road, and you could see it, but I want to see what it looks like in the movies. You know what I mean? Where it's, like, floating like this. You know what I'm saying? And but I was just glad I was able to see even just a little bit of it. You know what I mean? But this year, I didn't get to see it. But, yeah. Did you guys get any pictures or anything like that? Alright, look at this. Watch this. Look at that. Ooh, pretty. And then look at that side. See the difference? Yes. Yes, baby. Yes, 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 yes. I don't even think my e-nail couture does this. Like this. I'm gonna go in a circle. Thanks for coming, everybody. And then we're gonna come out here like so. So the only thing that I did that I couldn't like actually do, I guess I could do it with my e-file. Yeah, dude. Let's see. It's flat, okay? Don't yell at me for my apex, okay? I wasn't planning on having an apex. Anyway. It's nice. Nice. Beautimous. Everybody. Who's ready for that fucking taco? I'm ready for that taco. I'm trying to go fast, I promise. I really am trying to go fast. I'm so thirsty, dude. I haven't even, like, ate anything. Like, I come straight home. I knew I was supposed to be live. And so I ended up, I had to make these colors, and I was like, oh my god, I'm not going to have it in time. So I went ahead and made the 2 colors, and then I was like, oh shit, like, I'm not going to have this done before I go live, and yada yada yada. I got home, like, just in time. And I hate getting home and then having to run around like a chicken with your head cut off because you're going live and you don't have everything you need, even though you set everything up and thought you had everything you needed, you know? But we got home and I was like, okay, I gotta make these, and I thought I was gonna be done, but we had to change the plans, which is fine. I have no issue because Nellie was tired. She worked all day, so I had no problem just going live myself at all. And so she has been exhausted because she's been working her butt off. So yeah, I'm gonna bring this in down here. So I think tomorrow we're going live. I don't know if we're both going live together or if she's just going live on her channel or if we're going live both on my channel. Not sure, but we'll let you know. We shall let you know. You got tea and cherry cake? I do have chocolate chip muffins that are homemade, guys. They're homemade. They're so freaking good. Like, I am not even kidding. Chocolate chip are the best. At least for me, they are. Alright, I'm going to bring this in. And then we're going to bring it up. And we're going to cut across zone 1, as they call it. Come back around. And we're going to come down the middle of the nail. Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. Has anybody watched any good movies lately, though? Stranger Things starts on my birthday. So me and sis are going to have a little, like, thing where we watch the new couple seasons that come out of Stranger Things, which I am so stoked for. I am so stoked for it. Who's ready? I am so ready for this top coat. So ready for this top coat, y'all. But I did go look at a new car today, but unfortunately, the one I looked at, somebody else bought. But the other one I looked at was amazing. Because I don't know if I told y'all, but my car blew up. Yes, indeedy. After 15 years of having her and 400,000 miles later, she finally blew up, guys. She finally took a poop. So, yeah. But she literally gave us everything and got us everywhere we needed to go. Like, I cannot complain. A Ford Edge, and mine was a 2011 or 2010, and I will tell you this, it got us everywhere we needed, and I never had issues with it until I hit a deer. That was the only time I ever had, like, issues, is when I hit a deer. And I've hit multiple deer in my car. However, now that Sissy's driving and stuff like that, like, I need a car. So, I'm excited. But then again, at the same time, I'm like, I don't know. Like, I want a specific car. You know what I mean? Whoop. Whoop. I'm excited, though, because the Ford Edges are so nice. And I just love them. Yes, Team Chocolate Chip, baby. Alright, let's make sure this bitch is straight underneath. Yeah, nice. Now, my husband, he likes blueberry and something else. It's blueberry and something. And my daughter and I, we love chocolate chips. And my son likes apple. Because his mom makes, like, these apple pie or apple cookie crumble type muffins. And they smell really good, but I just don't like apple myself. I mean, that's just me, you know, but I mean, for the most part, most people like apple, but I don't. Hello, you're making nails too? Great. Hi, Crystal. They are so expensive and to work on. Like, mine being a 2010, though, like, it got me where I needed to go. Like, no joke. For all those freaking years, though, like, I cannot complain at all. Even though I hit a deer, well, a deer actually hit us. Like, we were going, like, up a bridge. You know, like, we're going, like, up the bridge like this, and there's, like, gaps right here, and both the deer jumped over the freaking thing and right into the side of my car. So, there was nothing I could do because I couldn't even see it. And so, yeah. But we're going to clean these off, okay? We're going to clean these bad boys off, and then we're going to put our top coat on, okay? Okay, I'm just going to make sure that... Dude. This is so soft. Steve just might be retired, everybody. There we go. All right. Gonna move all these. Fluffy brush, fluffy brush. Fluffy brush. Dude, thanks for hanging with me, everybody. You guys fucking rock. I need to really, clean that out, huh? But yeah, so I was running and running and running all day. Actually, I sat in a car for 2 hours and then 2 hours back. 2 hours there, 2 hours back. But yeah. Steve has been ripped-a-did, so. He has been ripped-a-did. Get out of my way. Alright. Alrighty-dighty, everybody. Let's freaking do this. Okay. I'm excited, bro. Are you guys excited for this effing top coat? Oh, dude. Yes. Yes, darling. Okay, we're just gonna clean her up really well. Oh, shit. Dude, thanks for hanging with me. Hell yeah. Dude, what I'm getting is an SRT, which I am so, like, I never thought in a million years I would ever have, like, an SRT of any kind. And so, yeah. I'm like, hell yeah. Bro. That freaking color is bonkers. That color is bonkers. I also like to make sure I clean out the back end of the nails, guys. Just make sure I get everything out of it. I mean, for the most part, I pretty much think that, like, the SRTs and, like, that style of, like, car or SUV, they're always so expensive, but I found one that's in really good, like, it's a 2021, and, it's only got, oh, is it 30-some thousand mile on it? So, it's pretty cool. I know, I like the purples too. Purple is my fave, and I just split that freaking thing. Purple is my fave. What is this? Miles price, so many recalls. Dude, I purchased mine, and I had so many recalls and issues with, like, my airbags, the transmission, and then finally, after all these years, and I mean, that thing purred like a kitten, guys. I'm not even kidding you right now. Ooh. It really did purr like a kitten, all the way up until I took it to Michigan when I took Sis to her, like, trap, because my daughter does trap shooting, and, when we took it up to Michigan, I don't know if it was just because we had never taken it, like, out of state, you know what I mean? Because we had never, ever went out of state ever since we had gotten it. And so we just said, screw it. We're taking family vacation. We need to go up there anyway. And, so yeah, by the time we got back, though, it was not loving us. But we, you know, we made sure we had everything we needed, like, oil and, you know, all that stuff. And so we kept it really, really nice and really, really good for as far as, you know what I mean? And so I think that's half the reason why I was able to keep it as long. You know what I mean? And, but yeah, that thing purred forever, and I didn't ever have an issue with the motor itself, you know what I mean? Which is great. Okay, guys, so, these are off, but I'm not worried about it. Oh my gosh, I do like them. My nail's going crooked. The only thing I don't like is my little, I feel like I have little bevels at the end, which, I mean, they're not bad. I mean, it kind of looks like that there, but then when I look at it like that, it's only like right here. But anyway, they look damn good. So, let's go ahead and do our top coat moment, everybody. I'm going to shut this off. This is what they look like matte. What do you guys think? Okay, we're going to get all these little floofs off of myself here. Don't want nothing in there. We are using the Zulace Toughen top coat. I mean, Camrys are good though. They last a while. You know what I mean? And mine, for how, like, when I bought my car, it had 100 and, like, oh my. I hope you can see the rainbow, guys. Oh my god. Oh my. Oh. Oh my god. Look at that ombre, though. Yes, ombre. Come here. But, like, when I got it, it was my first car I'd ever paid for my whole life. And, that's why I never wanted to give her up, because I paid for that bitch. You know what I mean? Like, it was mine. I had no more payments left, and I was just hoping she would hold out on me long enough to where I could give it to my daughter, you know? But she finally blew up. Literally, I went to go out, and it was, like, a day that was, like, really cold, and she just said, hell nah. And then, yeah. I'm gonna seal the edges in. Wow, dude. Tell me those colors aren't the shit. I'm the shit. I mean, I feel like I am. So don't burst my bubble. Because I really do feel like I am. At least I mean, I have gotten so different. Ah! Don't do that, y'all, okay? Don't do that. I got something in my top coat now. I can't believe I did that. Who does that? Me. That's what your girl does. Just going away. Now let's hope I can. I'm gonna take that excess off. That's just some of the shit that happens on my channel, y'all. I'm not even kidding. I just want to keep it nice. Yeah. Beautimous. I'm just gonna flash cure that bitch real quick, because I don't trust it. Oh my god. I mean, the top coat is kind of thin, so don't put a lot on there, or you're not, it's gonna end up going down the sides, because I'm holding this. In the voice of Bruce. That's funny. Shout out to everybody. Dude, I'm telling you what, look at that. I almost don't want to put anything on it. You know what I'm saying? Okay, look at this. I don't know if you guys can actually see the amount of sparkle and shimmer. And what you do, if you want to, you can also take your brush and do this. And if you have any, like, cracks still where the buffer maybe didn't get the whatever, it will help emphasize, you know, getting the top coat in those cracks. The cracks. And I'm going to wrap it around this outside part. And, bro. Dude, the amount of actual, like, glitter in this is crazy. Wow. Beautimous. And I also forgot that it glows. It really glows. So yeah, thanks for hanging with me, guys. You guys are fucking bomb, dude. So, now that it is 10 o'clock. Oh, yeah. So, only 2 of them glow. Just these 2 glow. But that's okay. I should have put glow in the glitter one. Alright, you guys, oh god. Can you see the blue and the purple in this color? Oh my Atlanta, Georgia. Like, this one's got flakies in it. It's reflective. The shimmer is amazing. And I was about to say it glowed, but it don't. But I will say, it is absolutely stunning. Like, I could do a full set, right, of just this purple color. Like, I am dead ass serious. I'm starting to shake because, yeah, girl needs to eat. But, bro. Oh my god. Hell yeah. Wow. That is absolutely just... I could gawk at this color all day. Wow. I'm just going to stick the hand in there. It is. Can see that one much better, can you? I'm glad that it's clear enough, like the clear, because I was actually, my monomer is pretty dirty towards the end there, so I'm actually kind of quite, you know, I'm glad that, you can see through the one, though. So we have 2 that glow and 2 that don't. Alright, so here is the regular glitter that we made. Ooh. What the... Oh, there it goes. I was like, what the hell? For a minute there, the scratches aren't going away. Do you know why that is? Like the scratches on the middle part, they're not going away right there. Everywhere else is good. It's just right here. I have a scratch here and oh shit. But it didn't like actually go away, so I either buffed it too much or not enough because you can still see the crack. Oh well. Yeah, it's fine. However, since this one's clear, we're going to do the back as well. Oh yeah. Bro. Dude, this top coat doesn't compare to anybody's at all. Oh my gosh. I get amazed every time, dude. Every time. Because normally I'm like, oh, I gotta plan out these colors. You know what I'm saying? Typically, I will say that. Like, oh my god, I gotta plan out these colors. I gotta do this. But when I just sit down and do it, like, it literally looks so good. I love it. Okay, let's put them in. Full 60. Alright, dude. How fucking awesome is that? So I'll probably have to either get back on here tomorrow. We can do the details, the added bling, and the 3D flower. Because I was going to do 3D flowers on top of that, but I don't know. You guys let me know if that's something you guys are interested in doing, 3D flowers. Because I want to do the tri-colored 3D flowers like I did the last time. Give me 1 sec though, guys. Wow, that's in the light. I'm going to hopefully not mess my brush up here. Oh shit, I gotta show you guys the glow. You wanna see the glow? I forgot all about that. Alright. I do way better on the fly too, right? I'm going to take this and... Okay. Turn off. She is. So that's what she looks like. She does look like a freaking galaxy, doesn't she? Like, look at that fade, though. Come on, Miss Fade. What? Dude. So we have two that glow and two that don't. But I love it. This is what they look like in regular lighting. Look at the shine on that, dude. And I got something in that. Nice. But that's okay. I can always file it. But this is what we made. A purple, blue, and gold moment. And I love this purple. I'm going to have to make another purple like that, though, I think. For sure. We did a little glitter moment. Look at that. But I figured we could do, like, the V-cut French like this and just draw that on. I don't know. We'll see. But 3D flowers, you guys let me know. I'll put a poll up and I'll do bling and 3D flowers and then we'll do something else. So, yeah, that is the hand. I'll take some pictures and stuff for you guys as well. Thank you guys so much for being with me. Thank you, Cordy, Katie Cat, Sandra. I love you guys. Shout out to the 67 of you guys in here. You guys are amazing. Wrestling fan, hello. Shout out to you, Barb, hello. Crystal Queen, hi. Thank you so much. Participating, being here. I truly appreciate you guys so much. Dragon Claws, Alicia, thank you. Alicia. Yeah, Alicia, right? Elisa. I don't know. I'm saying it wrong, but I love you, girly, and I really appreciate each and every single one of you guys. So this is what we have to look forward tomorrow. So I just picked all of this, so you guys let me know. I will put a poll up, okay, and then we'll spend some time together if you want to. Alrighty? Thank you for all of the beautiful donations as well. Hi, Rebecca. I eat batteries. Wow, that's crazy. But that is the nail set, y'all. Isn't she beautiful? Isn't she pretty? I'm going to show you like this, because you can really see the glisten. Look at that. And I was using Zule's monomer as well. And look at that. Yeah, baby. Okay, that's it. That's for tonight. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I hope you guys had an amazing time. Make sure you hype this up. If you loved this live and you got you learned something, please hype it, because that would be amazing. It helps when you hype, like, subscribe. I have a lot of lives where I'm doing acrylic, just like this. So, yeah, we'll hop back on, but I love you guys, and I will see you on the flip side. Have an amazing freaking Friday night. Doodle.